In this DD 2017 talk, ILM's John KNOLLILMXLABS Roger Cause and Matty Hoffman discussed the rendering technology inspired by video Gamasutra. The team created Fire, Rogue One, a Star Wars story. The trio provide details as to how the technology works, in addition to going over the challenges and lessons learned by creating a real-time hero character for Rogue One. It was an insightful talk that's definitely still worth watching, so developers should not miss the opportunity to do so now that it's freely available on the official GD YouTube channel. In addition to this presentation, THEGDC Vault and its accompanying YouTube channel offers numerous other free videos, audio recordings, and slides from many of the recent game developers conference events, and the service offers even more members-only content for DD Vault subscribers. Those who purchased all access passes to recent events, like DD Vault, already have full access to DD Vault, and interested parties can apply for the individual subscription via the DD Vault subscription page. Group subscriptions are also available. Game-related schools and development studios who sign up for DD Vault Studio subscriptions can receive access for their entire office accompanied by contacting staff via THEGDC Vault Group subscription page. Finally, current subscribers with access issues can contact DD Vault technical support. Gamasutra and DD are sibling organizations under parent company Informa. If history had taken a different turn some 16 years ago, an entire generation of ragamuffins might be grown up playing Diablo on their Game Boys. Way before smartphones ruled the world, one Blizzard North programmer called Jonathan Morin began to wonder what the franchise might look like on the small screen. Speaking to Variety for a recent feature, Morin revealed, not curious about the idea, after spying a Game Boy dev kit in a studio corridor. After mulling it over, he eventually began working on a secret Pokemon-inspired prototype he called Diablo Jima. Pokemon was really big at the time, he recalled. We thought we might do something similar where you could fight these monsters and get this whole different genre, age group. Because Diablo was for adults, that was the genesis of it. After around 6 months of covert development, he eventually got a demo running on the original Game Boy, and had enough in place to show a character walking around the world. In terms of the gameplay, Morin's small team were debating whether to try and preserve the series' signature hack and slash elements, or follow in Pokemon's footsteps, and take a turn-based approach. Unfortunately though, they never got any further than that. Managerial changes and new owners killed the project before it did even begun to truly take shape. But with the launch of Diablo Immortal, the franchise's smartphone debut imminent, Morin believes was probably ahead of the curve. Those interested in learning more about Diablo JR should head on over to Variety for the full story. The Academy of Interactive Arts Sciences has reviewed the games of for honors at this year's DICE Awards show, with God of War, Spider-Man, and Red Dead Redemption 2 leading the pack for 2019's event. Sony Santa Monica's God of War has been nominated across 12 categories, the most nominations for this year's award candidates, including Outstanding Achievement in Animation, Art Direction, Character, Sound Design, and Technical Achievement. Spider-Man trails that with 11 nominations in many of those same categories. All in all, 56 games have been nominated across 23 different categories, including Game of the Year nominees God of War, Into the Breach, Marvel Spider-Man, Red Dead Redemption 2, and the return of the Oberding. Winners in each category are set to be announced at the DICE Awards show on February 13th, while ICE members will start the voting process to determine this year's winners on January 11th. In addition to the game-focused awards, this year's DICE Awards will also see 343 industries born near us inducted into the ICE Hall of Fame. An honor that sees her recognized alongside past inductees like Todd Howard, Hideo Koyama, and Leslie Benzies. A small selection of this year's nominees can be found just below, while the full list is already up over on the ICE website. Sony Santa Monica's Cory Barlog, speaking to VentureBet about the development of God of War, rebooting a franchise is a risky endeavor and comes with many unknowns. But having helped with the Tomb Raider reboot while taking creative leave from Sony Santa Monica, God of War lead Cory Barlog got some experience under his belt. In a recent interview with VentureBeat, Barlog discusses his thought process behind pitching the reboot the way he did, as well as the many experiences which all helped him learn to focus his storytelling. After finishing his work on the original God of War trilogy, Barlog describes feeling burned out and wanting to pursue something new. I wanted, creatively, to get a different experience. I am not certain how well I know this or not, but I felt like I did not know a lot that I needed to learn, and I was not going to learn it if I was making the same game over and over again. He explains. Thus, Barlog did a few stints at various places before landing at Crystal Dynamics and helping with the Tomb Raider reboot on its cinematics. It was monumental to shifting his thought processes. That gave me the perspective I needed. I do not think I would have been able to make this game had I not had that walkabout. That was really good for me, because it gave me a good understanding of, when they were rebooting, what was their process. I ended up using that. This is not to say they were wrong. It's just that the way they approached it, I looked at it and thought, I did approach this very differently. He continues. So when it came time to head back to Sony Santa Monica, had some ideas. I think I said, God of War needs a fresh start, but the player needs a fresh start as well. But we do not want to just erase the past. That was an important thing. As a writer, you understand how hard it is to build up backstory for characters, so you can have impactful moments. You have to build toward something and then pay it off. We built for 10 years. Let's not throw that out. Let's keep that. But let's take chapter 2. Let's use that and have that resonate even stronger. Be sure to check out the entire interview over at VentureBeat, which goes into more detail about the development cycle of God of War. Devolver Digital announced today that former Apple Star Games business manager Mark Hickey is joining the team to lead the publisher's lineup of mobile projects. As VP of Mobile Publishing, Hickey brings a deep understanding of the trends and strategies within the mobile sector from more than 15 years of mobile games industry experience and working on hundreds of App Store launches. According to Devolver, it's an interesting move for Devolver, the company, whose games mainly come out on PC and console, has released games such as IGN SANDDOW and WELLO on mobile. But the boutique published has had less of a focus on the dominant business model on mobile platforms, free-to-play. Asked if the metrics-driven mass-market pleasing free-to-play model might clash with Devolver's boutique publisher vibe, Hickey said that Devolver is not as focused on implementing new business models as it is on bringing the same unique style and flavor of Devolver games to mobile. Our job is to help developers be successful, and if free-to-play is the way to do that on mobile, Then that's what we will do, he said. But we are not going to sell our soul in the process. There are ways to do free-to-play that are both fair and respectful of customers that also allow developers to realize their creative vision. So what led to this new attention to the mobile market? Devolver has already been pretty successful on mobile with games like Done Well, Spaceplane on the Rings. Hickey explained.